Mi gente, you already know who it is. It's Danny Limelight. And I need all of you to subscribe to According to Woods podcast on Facebook, YouTube, and all other platforms.
What's good, party people? This is According to Woods, and I have the honor and privilege of talking to a professional fighter, a professional wrestler, the owner and major domo of literally the Multiverse Fighting Club. He is the one and only Jay Action Jackson. Jay, what's going on, my man?
What's that? And I love how you hype the Multiverse. That's my shit, man. That's so awesome. Thank you, man.
I mean, was any hyperbole? Did I lie about any of that? Did I fib?
No, that's all me. Dude, that's so. I mean, it's just like, the Multiverse FC, man. I don't know, like, it's such a new project. It's a new project for me, man. So, and it's nice. It's nice to hear, like, get some hype. I'm like, yeah, that's my shit, Multiverse, baby.
Yeah,
yeah, man. Hard work.
Which take us into the multiverse. What is a Multiverse FC, man? Like, because you're doing a bunch of different things, and it seems like it's a way to kind of all encompass the acting, the wrestling, the fighting, all that. But for those who are uneducated in the matter, what is Multiverse FC?
Well, I started off with just with my brand. You know what I mean? Like after a while doing like the MMA journey and stuff like that, you're like, what am I gonna do? Like, or just like, what are you gonna do for like, like your branding thing? Yeah, I mean, so I was like, all right, well, the first name was a really long one. It's like the J Action Jackson brand. So it was like the name was like 10, like was just too long. So I just got a couple friends. We sat down. I was like, I'm kind of brand. I want to start my own, because I've had such a journey in MMA. Yeah, I mean, and I'm just trying to get people together. So let's go ahead and try to, make up a name, make a brand. And Multiverse FC came together with the combination of like, what's it, Spider-Man, the Spider-Man,
Into the multiverse, right?
And the Spideyverse came in.
Yeah.
It's just like, what, like with me like at the time I was like doing pro wrestling, did MMA, I've done kickboxing, done boxing, and I've done all these things. Yeah, I mean, I was like, what, like, I said, it's like, it's like a multi thing. And then, I mean, it's like, well, we all like Spider-Man, I mean, so everything like, the Spider-Verse. And then before you know it, the Multiverse FC name came up. And we're like, that's a perfect name. So that's how the name was made up. And then the Multiverse FC is just for me to share my MMA story. I've been around the world. I've done so many shows, and now I'm about to partake in bare knuckle. So I've played in so many formats of like unarmed combat, and I'm just trying to find a way to share my story. So the Multiverse FC was made, and that's kind of what I use as a thing to show people mixed martial arts and uncombative sports and bring people together to enjoy some MMA.
Yeah, man, that's amazing. That's amazing. Now, our good friend, good brother, Anthony DJ Tony Orozco, who helped set this whole shindig up. So shout out to you, DJ Tony.
What's up, Tony?
Yeah, he said, "Let's go, coach. Let's go, 100%." Him and his 100%. I love it.
100%. Yeah, man. Like I love TJ, man. He's doing so good in men's training right now. I've been training. We probably have about 4 sessions together, and he's just improving. He's just working so hard. And I mean, the only thing I ask for anyone I train is just dedication and consistency. And he's been completely consistent. Even outside the gym, he's jump roping. He's doing his runs and all the stuff that I've been telling him. He's doing it. So I'm like, hey, let's get you ready, Tony. I appreciate him.
Yeah, man. Which, obviously for those who don't know, and Tony's been on the show, but for those who don't know the story, I mean, DJ Tony, or Anthony Orozco, is the official DJ for BKFC, better known as Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, which I gotta ask, was it your guys' kind of interaction with each other that led you down the path to the squared circle of bare knuckle, or was that something that you had in your mind and your heart to do anyway?
Oh man, this bare knuckle journey, man, this bare knuckle journey has started years ago. Um, Tony Lopez went against Joey Beltran, and that was probably one of the best fucking fights I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And ever since then, it kind of planted the seed of being like, okay, well, there's a new thing starting, and I want to taste it. So later on, like I think Tony Lopez fought for King in a Cage, and I think we shared an event together. So I've met Tony Lopez, and Tony Lopez is dope. So like after he fought on there, and then like I seen Bret and Hart, like I said, she was on like Bret and Hart and Beck, and I seen a few other guys. I was like, this is something I really want to get into. Well, then I would go to Phuket, Thailand, and I would run into a bare knuckle fighter named Mark Godbeard, and he was training for his bare knuckle fight, but it wasn't for BKFC, it was for another organization. And I was like, all right, cool. I said, I think this is like, like I'm just like starting to smell like this is gonna be like the new thing. And I just want to give it a shot. So in February I did the tryouts. I heard some good news, and after that it was get around. Like bare knuckles is a whole different sport. That's a whole different machine. It's not MMA. It's not boxing. It's a whole different fight. So I needed to be around people who are well experienced. So I started talking to like my buddy Jay Fish, who's in bare knuckle fighting. He's from Saginaw. Saginaw represent. Saginaw's got fight. Uh, so I started training with Jay Fish. Started training with Lorenzo Hunt down here in Florida, and now I'm putting all my training camp stuff together pretty soon. It looks like I'll be fighting pretty soon here. I don't want to announce it yet because I don't know for sure. But we got names, and I think it's going to be on. I think I might be on the next one, so I'm super excited.
Oh man, and check out the BKFC app. Literally the best value in all of combat sports. Cheaper than ESPN Plus, cheaper than UFC Fight Pass, WWE
Like not,
Network, and New Japan World. It's like
it's like
literally a
4 months.
hamburger, right? It's like a
Yeah,
hamburger.
it's like cheaper than like the average McDonald's meal now. So like real talk. But I mean, and you get like badass fights. So yes, please get that bare knuckle app. And also check out the Tampa Tryouts. You'll see my face on there. So yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, what was the deal with that? Because I know in a couple weeks, in New York, upstate New York, Scott Burt is having the Hall of Fame induction ceremony, and
Yeah.
then they're gonna have tryouts there. But are there separate tryouts, separate places? It almost seems like American Idol esque, right? There's a tryout in San Diego.
The funny part,
Tryout.
that's so funny you said American Idol. Like, because it's so similar because they were just in Texas like last week. So they're just in Texas now. They're gonna be in New York for at the Bare Knuckle Hall of Fame. And I mean, like if you want to try, I mean, I guess they've been doing these bare knuckle tryouts like low key for like years. So I mean, for like the past like I want to say past like 2 or 3 years. So and then like they just had one in Alabama, like in April. I mean, no, maybe it was like February. I think it was in March. And then like in April they just had. Now we're in May. And they just had Texas. So and then now we're about to be in. Now they're going to be in New York. So I mean, like they're trying, like I said, they're trying to round robin about. They're trying to find these fighters. They're trying to find these people who are trying to scrap. But yeah, like I said, I did the one in Tampa in February. And it was super cool. Hit some bags, hit some pads. Got to meet some people, shake some hands. Like that's all it is to it. I mean, if you're tough enough, man, give it a shot. If like, you want to fight. Go into the tryouts. We've all tried the tryouts. Lorenzo Hunt were in the tryouts. Chop Corey was in the tryouts. So, I mean, hey, if you think you got what it takes, do it.
Yep. Put up or shut up and toe the line, right?
Right, exactly. That's how. Hey, I just want to get my taste. That's all. Hey, that's how I feel about it. Man. I'm just kind of trying to get a taste.
Yeah, which Howie Atherton says, ride to New York with Kevin Smith. I hope he's talking about Jay and Silent Bob's Kevin Smith. I hope
Oh my god, man.
that'd be great. So you guys can snoochie boochies your way to New York.
Gucci's. No, they went like it's like Kevin Smith, like Kevin Smith's going up there. I think that's I think if they're applying, they're probably talking about my manager. He's going up. I have to stay down here to help my other fighters down here. I'm gonna be staying at the gym to help my other fighters. I got a couple fighters getting ready for amateur debuts and things like that. And also, one of my nieces graduates, so I'll be attending that on that following Friday. So I won't be able to make it to that.
Yeah, family first. And he says no Texas de Brazil there though, which that's some deep cuts. I
Yeah.
wonder what he means. Is that a restaurant? Is that almost sounds like a Texas de Brazil? Like I almost feel like that should be a restaurant where they like bring you like Brazilian barbecue on skewers and then
On Texas toast. I'm like,
yeah,
oh
the
my god, like I do I do like I'm like I don't know. I mean like Brazil, Texas. I don't know. Yeah, I mean like but no, but yeah, like yeah, I don't know what that means at all. Like,
we'll
like
go with it. Yeah, absolutely.
what's
And
that? What's that restaurant? Like,
yeah,
yeah,
which funny. Don McGuire says you actually have a striking resemblance to other MMA fighter Linton Vassell.
yeah. I always go get if you see me in person, I also get Romero
Yoel Romero, yeah,
and in some angles I get Floyd Mayweather, but like real talk. But I don't know. I'm just Jay Jackson, so I ain't. The funny part is I don't even know who that fighter is.
yeah. Wow, he just fought for Bellator. Literally the last card, or
Yeah.
no, actually this the upcoming card. I
Is
want
that
to
the
say.
is that the one you're talking about? The last card with Rumble Johnson?
This one actually was Ronnie. He beat Ronnie Marks. He trains out of what's it? Aldo's gym, Nova Munhao.
Oh yeah.
Uh, but he actually he let's see. That last fight was December 10th, 2020. So he just, I mean, he fought pretty recently.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's,
yeah, if you put him in the Google machine,
yeah.
you'll
Of course. That's how we do
you'll
it. You gotta go.
yeah.
Hey man, like low key. That's how I do everything. You just put it in the Google.
Yep.
Oh, he's heavyweight in Bellator. So
Right.
yeah, he's a
Yeah.
Bellator heavyweight. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, like I said, I get resembled by. I said I got what you call. I get called Lil Morrow, and like in some angles I look like Floyd. So you know what I mean. I'm like, hey, shit. Nah, I'm just me. Like, I don't even know.
Yeah, I get for those who are in the jiu-jitsu circles, I get fat Hanato Ranch. Like,
Go
and
ahead.
yeah, and it's funny because like I think there was like when one of the high rollers BJJ events here in Cali. I think it might have been like a year and a half back, but like my friend Blanca Garcia from Gracie Mag, she goes like literally sees me at the door. Was like, wait, come here, and she led me up. And I'd met him a couple times before. He's always been cool, but he's like, you guys are twins. You guys should just stay, whatever. So I got to literally be on the stage of like everybody getting high. I got so contact high that day. Oh, it's so
Yeah,
bad,
that's so
so
funny.
bad.
I swear, man. Like that's like, do you know they're doing that? I don't know if this is just a rumor, but are they doing that like that jujitsu and weed thing now? Yeah, I mean,
That's high rollers.
yeah, yeah. It's that high rollers. Yeah,
That's high rollers.
that's what they're doing now. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
uh,
been like maybe what 4 years I think it is.
yeah.
Like Vegas, LA. I don't know if they've done Texas, but I know they've definitely done. The last one happened in Vegas at the beginning of the year, so they're going strong, man. Like
Yeah.
I have a autographed picture of Nate Diaz, like here with like the high rollers, like full on smoking a joint.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
Though. I mean, it's about time, dude. Because I remember when like just back in my day, just back in my like MMA journeys and like run into all these like black belts and jujitsus and like the Sharpays and they enjoyed that ganja, man. So I mean like it's just like there's something about a good roll and being high while rolling. Yeah, I mean that like that's just always gone together with jujitsu. So I'm like, hey man, like go for it, man. Like it is. I mean, like, hey, because I mean, like, you're so chill. I mean, and you're not overthinking so much while grappling, and you kind of don't want to be so tense. Because I mean, when you're like, I'll tell you this right now. Like me, I do jujitsu, but sometimes, like, if you get too tense and stuff like that, you miss the fun.
Yep.
don't miss the fun of the role. So, even if like you put yourself in bad positions, like just chill out. Yeah, I mean, don't tighten up. Yeah, I mean, because if not, you move slower. Yeah, I mean, and you're almost sustained to get tapped up faster anyway. So, yeah, dude, like just go and chill out. You know what I mean? Go ahead and smoke a little. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and then just chill out.
Yeah, get your shit together. Writing's on the wall.
Right.
Whatever stumble you might fall. There you go.
Exactly. Remember, there's a reversal for every mistake, so it's fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
And giving us some context, how he says we ate their last fight. It's that place in Birmingham.
Oh, really?
Okay. Yeah, the Texas de Brazil. Apparently, it's in
Oh,
Alabama,
okay, that's
which
what
is even more confusing because like
Okay.
Texas de Brazil in Birmingham, Alabama. I'm thoroughly fucking confused.
No, we're not. I'm not confused. That was the restaurant we ate at that night. Yeah, I mean,
What?
like there was I was like this. There was this restaurant we ate that night called like Texas. They said Texas Day Brazil. I think that was the
Yeah.
restaurant we ate later on that like after the fights that night or before the fights. Maybe it was before the fights. But yeah, it was like they just like slabbed the meat down on your plate. Like they cut the meat right up like right at your table and shit like that. It was some bougie shit. I loved it.
So it was a Brazilian steakhouse,
Yeah,
but also named after Texas.
yeah.
Also in Birmingham, Alabama.
But in Alabama. Yeah,
For those keeping count.
yeah.
Fucking wild,
The
man.
restaurant was in Alabama. It was, Texas Dale, Brazil. Yeah. So yeah, talking about talking about a multiverse.
Yeah, multiverse, 100%. But, stepping into the multiverse, Don McGuire of the Fighter's Voice saying, being yourself is rare these days, James. So, it's even though you're getting all the comparisons from everybody else, I mean, being yourself, I think, is all you can do. That's an Audio Slave fucking track, but yeah, well.
Oh, dude, I love Audio Slave, and that's where I stay at. Yeah, I mean, like, I'll always try to be myself no matter what. I mean, like, there's just this, we're in this new thing where everyone wants to try to pick up, like you start doing the call out thing, and you want to, because everyone's chasing that red penny night so hard these days. And I'm just kind of like, I still fight for fun, and all that good stuff. And I just don't want to chase that. I mean, like, I still want to be myself all the way through. I'm just a humble, good guy. I'm just trying to make good guys great. So,
Yeah?
it is what it is. I mean, I still fight for fun. I mean, of course, you don't want to die. But, and I'm going to come in there aggressive, and I'm going to try to win. But, like, I just don't want to do I never want to do the red panty night thing right now. Yeah.
Well, I think, and maybe it's the years and years of me watching pro wrestling, but, everybody's just taking on like Connor is doing like a hybrid version of Vince McMahon circa like 99 and Ric Flair of 87, right? Like
Right.
he's like a mixtape of those two things is Connor, right? And I'm not saying that isn't him or whatever. I mean, he's less of a gimmick than say Colby Covington, who again, it's totally gimmick, but I mean, he was about to get cut from the UFC. Dan Lambert was doing a thing with Impact Wrestling down there in Orlando and
And
whatever.
he popped up on there.
Yeah, absolutely. And then went like, yo, so what do we? How do you guys draw money and shit like that? And then that's right before the Maya fight, and then he fucking says, cuts the heel promo on Brazil, which I fucking wouldn't have done because you still got to get out of the fucking country. And yeah, Brazil, if not for Brazil and the people coming from there would be no sport for you to fucking do your shit. But I digress, right?
Right.
But yeah, I mean that's totally a gimmick. But in like the Undertaker, the Undertaker couldn't cut a fucking Hulk Hogan promo. Bret Hart couldn't do a fucking Stone Cold or whatever. Antonio Inoki wasn't doing Ric Flair. Like there's so many fucking facets, but just taking the one, right? It's just like, no, motherfuckers, like you could just be you. Right? Jake the Snake talked really fucking low like this, so you had to fucking hear him and shit like that.
Dude, Jake would go biblical sometimes, man.
Yeah!
That's
Fucking
right.
avarice. I had to look that some bitch up. I was like, what the fuck is avarice?
I think. Oh man, Jake the Snake. I mean, he's in AEW right now, and he's
Yeah, with the Murder Hawk, Lance Archer.
see this about to turn into a pro wrestling podcast so bad. So I'm like gonna try. Oh
I'm
my,
not like it's not like I'm wearing a Harley Race shirt though.
I can
As
totally. And then I'm Iron Palace, Dwayne. Yeah, so I mean, I can't help it. But I swear, God, we'll turn this into a pro wrestling podcast for days. I do love my pro wrestling. I really do. I really do. But
I mean, do you love it more than zombies, or do you love it more than blood and guts?
you know what? I'm gonna go with. Let me tell you something. People the blood. I mean, I'm totally on the bandwagon of blood and guts right now. Yeah, I mean, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I mean, just like the fact that AEW is just doing it right these days. I'm so into it right now. Just everything. Like they're really doing something really different and fucking special for the wrestling fans. If you guys don't know how magical AEW is for you guys, I mean, bringing back the FTW belt, really fixing these low gimmick guys that were kind of like in the indie circuit, and finally giving them a platform to really help them shine. I'm so happy for them. I'm so happy for some guys.
I am absolutely happy, but then again, I also saw a clip of fucking Dr. Luther, like blowing himself up. Not. I'm sorry. I should put some context on this. Not John Moxley, Kenny Omega blowing himself up. No. I mean, actually, like, fucking tongue like a long red necktie, and having, I think it was Brian Pillman Jr. fucking just bounce, whatever, and fucking Luther couldn't even fucking, I don't know, man. It's, yeah.
And like I said, I can go for hours, and I'm going to try to change the subject, man. Because I mean, like I said, what I'm saying is, I'm proud of AEW, and I can't wait. I can't wait to see what more is going to come from that. That's, what I mean. Like I said, there's going to be so much. There's like AEW's they got so much coming out right now, and I so much content. I mean, it's so different.
Another 2 hours coming up, apparently.
Really? Oh my God! I wonder if the TBS rumor is right. Yeah, I mean, they're about.
Yeah. So okay. So for those keeping count, there's AEW Dynamite on TNT, which is the first pro wrestling show on TNT or on any Turner station, what they used to be called, since 2001 when WCW went under. Right. So theoretically speaking, you've got 2 hours of AEW Dynamite. You've got 2 hours of Dark.
Yeah.
Right? The YouTube show. And then another hour and a half of AEW Dark Elevation. And then another 2. Fuck me. Like, really? Like, to be a wrestling fan nowadays, like, there's more of it.
Like, we're in such a great time when it comes to, we're in such a great time. We not only got apps, we're taking over TV. And it's just like, just so much content coming out for us, you know what I mean? And then with AEW mixing in with Impact and the other organizations around the world, it's just like, oh my God, we just got nonstop dream matches just coming, like they're just coming up like every single week, and it's just like, I don't know, man. Yeah, I mean, like, like what at one time where you thought AEW wouldn't be able to take over. Yeah, I mean, like, I was like, I don't know, they're doing something right, man. So
yes. I like to think there's more money in combat sports, and in my mind's eye, pro wrestling is combat sports. There's no way you could fucking get away with that unscathed. Your body not fucking feel it. So, but there's never been more money. When you look at the WWE being a publicly traded stock, you've got AEW headed up by the billionaires of the Khan family, right? And then you've got, UFC. They just went public, Bellator. WME and Viacom. Viacom is a publicly traded stock, right? MTV, BET, all that shit, right? Like Showtime, right? Then you've got New Japan. They've got a streaming service. A shout out to Will Ospreay. Unfortunately, he suffered a neck injury at Wrestling Dontaku, and then he had to vacate the fucking title after he won it. It's fucking shit. Yeah, but I mean, it's like there's more money in combat sports, bar none, everywhere, right? So I think it's a crucial time. Going back to what we were saying about the Red Friday night and being yourself and all that, you can be yourself. It's
Right.
just finding a way to connect with your audience. You
Right.
can't just be like, "Oh, here's my fight shirt and everything like that," and have the shittiest fucking color of hot magenta with
Right.
like, the fucking, what is it, the barbed wire tattoo logo and whatever. Like, get some fucking thought. Like, imagine somebody is rocking your shit, like, going into a fucking mall, right? Going into the mall and people in the mall going like, "Oh, whoa, what is that shirt? That looks fucking cool. Like,
Right.
let me rock with that. Oh, it's an MMA fighter. What do they like? It's a fucking business card. Like
Right.
the fact that everybody, right, talk about business cards, social media, it's free. Get on all of it.
Right.
Open up a what is it? A Shopify store.
Yeah.
Build your merch. All that
And,
shit. Like,
and that's kind of what I try to tell like any upcoming fighter about this game is just like do your best to build your worth. Yeah, I mean, like when I went around Europe and stuff like that, or I go to Thailand or something like that, it's just like it's the way to try to build your brand. I try to build my I was trying to build my brand very organically. Yeah, I mean, just like go to these places, go to gyms, talk. I mean, talk to these people about yourself. And at the time, I probably have a fight coming up or something like that. And like I was really trying to build a better social environment for people with combat sports, because I mean a lot of people, you hear combat, you hear about punching and stuff like that, people go to the right with it, like, okay, people getting hurt, people, people with aggression issues and all that good stuff. And I was like, I promise you, the nicest people I've ever met are people who are in like MMA gyms or in doing jujitsu, or those are the calmest people I ever met. So like when I started building my brand, it was just like, I'm just trying to build a decent social environment for people all to come together, learn some mixed martial arts, so you can stand into an elevator crowded with 4 or 5 people and be calm as hell, because none of them are really trying to choke you out.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, those are the situations that I'm like used to going into. But I mean, not saying these people are purposely trying to choke me out, but we're practicing
right.
jujitsu. You know what I mean? Or like we're practicing boxing. So one day we might have to spar and stuff like that. And once you do it so much, before you know it, I mean, like you can be in like there'd be times where I'm just walking around Italy or something like that, and I'm not saying like, okay, there's not a chance that someone will snatch you up or anything like that, but you're
Right.
just calm in these type of scenarios, because I mean, MMA and uncombative sports open up the beauty of what people are and what people can be.
Yeah.
And instead of being like, just like, it kind of shakes the unknown. You kind of like it kind of like moves the clouds a little bit of the unknown of what people are capable of. So I like I said, like I love, like I said, that's one thing that I'm hoping later on, as I continue down the line, as I teach DJ Tony and my other students at Smith Brothers MMA. It's like I'm trying to create a comfortable environment for people to to hit each other, not really necessarily hit each other, but socialize, but bring that intimacy back, bring that good intimacy back into the crowds, because we've been in a pandemic for a whole year and things are just starting to open up again. So I mean, like that's kind of what and I'm trying to bring that good environment where I'm not like screaming at them to work hard, but just like at the same time, no, they're still working, they're still burning calories, they're
Yeah.
still having fun, and they're still meeting people without it being, I mean, without it being like push-ups or being so alone. I mean,
Yeah.
because us gym rats like to be by ourselves. I mean, but I'm trying to bring that intimacy back to bring that good intimacy back to MMA, and that's something I would like to bring with my character once I start doing well. Continue to bring with my character as I continue to fight and things like that. So, that's no. I mean, at the same time, I have to say that's no gimmick. I mean, that's just who I am in general. So I'm just like, well, as I go down the line and I see people jumping into those, into those different type of gimmicks, or not gimmicks, but those different type of territories of I just call it red penny night. I mean, like I said, like it's either either if it's real or not. I'm just like, I rather just kind of do it my way. I mean, where it's just like it's 100% organic. It's still myself, and it's there's still a crowd of people out there that are just looking for a place to either learn or just to chill out or either help them be themselves. So it's just like, all right, man, like, come down to Stiff Brothers and and participate in my MMA journey. You know what I mean? And we'll definitely try to bring the best out of you. So that's just like that's me right there.
I like it. I like it. No, and kind of on the lines of just money being here and environment, right?
Right.
Don McGuire says a cannabist is like it looks like a cannabis infused promotion going out there, and then the dudes at Ringside Podcast, speaking of wrestling, saying what's going on, and they also say New Japan is the king of sports, and. TNA was on Spike, on 04 and 05, and
Yes,
also, what is it? Fox Sports, Fox Sports.
Fox Sports. I will always remember when TNA hit Fox Sports because whatchamacallit, that was like that was for TNA fans, that was our big jump. You know what I mean? Like finally we're not on the after pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
just in that run, my goodness, like that was almost like the precursor to like what we see now, right? Now, Impact does the split screen, WWE and UFC and everything. They run the ticker, but like TNA actually did that shit first. Like they were doing the Fox Sports tickers way like 10 years, 15 years before everyone else.
They were past it, man. I mean, I remember when Jeff Hardy made his debut against AJ Styles on Fox Sports.
The first time, yeah,
the very, very first time. No one knows about that very first time. When Jeff Hardy made his jump to Impact, and they finally made it on Fox Sports, and man, like I don't know, man, and then the Naturals.
Oh gosh, most people forget fucking America's Most Wanted.
America's Most Wanted. Oh my God! I guess they just have a reunion a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, because Rude is obviously in WWE, so they had to do AMW versus Beer Money, which for my money, pardon the pun, but the Beer Money theme song is the best TNA theme song.
It was the best.
Take your money and your alcohol. And it fucking told you who these motherfuckers were. He's from the city. He's from the country.
James Storms and Robbie Roode was, I swear to God, that was probably my favorite T-shirt. And their promos were just amazing. It'd be like, Bear, money. I was like, come on. Oh my God, when James Storms jumped over to
NXT,
I was praying that we might get. I was like pushing. I was like, come on, and we didn't. But it happens, man. Yeah. But I still wanted a beer. I wanted a Beer Money gimmick for Robbie Roode for sure.
Man.
Don't jump over,
dude. And the crazy thing about like that theme song, right? Like if you never saw Beer Money and just like hell around that period, I dragged my wife to a TNA live events in Bakersfield, California, at the Bakersfield Dome. Yeah. She didn't know wrestling. She still doesn't. And that's not the thing. My wife is my lifeline because I'm so ingrained in like combat sports that I don't know what the fuck is happening in the world outside of a cage and a ring, right? So my wife is my lifeline. Otherwise, I don't know what the fuck, right? But taking her, and then she's all like, "Oh, that guy's the money guy. Oh, that's the beer guy." Because the fucking song said, he's from the city, he's from the fucking country.
Right.
So, you better run and hide before when the fucking back roads and the blacktop collide. Like, fuck, man. Like, oh, shit, man. Jesus Christ. It's so great. It's so great. I think that might even be the greatest thing that Dixie Carter and actually her husband, Serge Salinas, who's like a country producer. That's why we got like the Mickey James, like album and everything. Cause he's he's a country producer and everything like that.
Yeah.
That to me, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm not in country. You probably have to educate me, but
I don't know about country.
But that Beer Money theme song is probably the best thing that both Serge Salinas and Dixie Carter had ever done. Just saying.
Actually, let's see. I gotta go with what's it? When remember when AJ Styles had that grits?
The Get Ready to Fly?
Yeah, dude. Oh, that's hey, dude. I'm sorry, man. That was my stuff, man. I'm sorry. Hey, I see it in your face, man. But
No, I'm not mad at that theme song, right? It's just
that was
when
my
they're saying like his WWE theme, a lot of people like Jeff Jarrett, he was like, "Yep, that's AJ," right? Then if you want to just like that Christian Rock, whatever, like you literally had Serge Salinas who that is his jam, and you don't like whatever you give him like this like weird rocker fucking like the fuck are we doing, folks?
I swear, man. Like when it, like I said, oh man, like I said, I can go on. I can go on for hours about how the themes just aren't the same anymore. What was it? Who was the
Jim
who was
Johnston.
Jim Johnson will always be the king of the old burn mixtape. Yeah, I mean,
Yo.
like oh my god, like his like I mean I don't know. It's just like I really wish they wouldn't have let him go,
No,
or whatever happened with that.
well,
Yeah,
it's yeah, well, and not even that. Like, everybody's trying to. Obviously, you try to differentiate yourself or whatever, but like when everybody's talking about like, oh, this free agent or whatever, to me, bar none. Like, and he still wants to do fucking themes.
yeah,
Why hasn't any fucking wrestling like if Dr. Luther, Chris Jericho's friend, Lenny St. Clair, right, can get 70 G's a year to wrestle fucking 2 matches a week, and fucking first class accommodation from Canada, right? Like, why the fuck isn't Jim Johnson on a $1 trillion retainer? The Khan's got it.
man, dude, I don't know, man. But like I said, I wish, man. Like I said, like when Jim Johnson took over what was taking over them theme songs, man. I swear, to God, I remember like when you played the SmackDown game, that was like important. Yeah, I mean now like you kind of ignore it now, but back then, yeah, I mean like you just had so many options of like theme songs you can use just because they were all so dope. You know,
Yeah.
man, I'm like, oh my god, like I said, I used to be so obsessed. I used to be the funny part is you were obsessed at that time of pro wrestling. You were obsessed with the theme songs. Yeah, I mean, like that's the reason why they were like selling out CDs. Yeah, I mean, like come on now, WWE selling out CDs for what? Because they're fucking because the theme songs rock, man. Like, oh my god, it was so awesome. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that was such a good time.
Such a fucking good time.
Such a good
Uh,
time, dude.
and the dudes at ringside saying zombies looking forward to Army of the Dead tomorrow. Actually, that fucking WrestleMania Backlash.
Yeah.
I was down for it, and then I'm not. I'm not at all.
I mean, like, yeah, yeah. I mean, like, I'm just like I said. That's what I mean. Like every time I watch the new what I kind of what WWE's doing now. I mean, like they really haven't. It's almost like they're really not taking anything as seriously as they used to back in the day. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of comedic. Yeah, I mean, so like even like the last WrestleMania thing, they kind of like it's kind of just it's kind of sad. They kind of Saturday Night Live it now, and I'm just kind of like, it's like oh this is bad, guys. Yeah, I mean, like
Yeah.
like I remember back in the day when WrestleMania was something that
Yeah,
something serious. Yeah, I mean,
dude. If
like
they told you
something.
as a fucking 10-year-old kid,
Yeah,
you get every fucking pay-per-view. Also, like 90% of all of wrestling's archive. You
right.
got some Mid South, you got some fucking Jim Crockett commercials, you got some Smoky Mountain Wrestling, ECW, AWA,
Yeah, you got
whatever.
the whole catalog. You
And
got the
for
whole
like
catalog.
$10, and
Yeah.
then even more so with like Peacock Network, it's like $5, and then you get like fucking episodes of Superstore and Friends and the
You got
Young
the
Rock
whole
and shit.
you got the whole catalog, and it's still like I said, like it's just like the last like I said, just like the last couple themes of WrestleMania just haven't been that serious. I'm like, oh my god, like this is. I mean, why are we wasting? Yeah, I mean, wasting all these. This good valuable time. Yeah, I mean, or just like or making fun of it, but it's just it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, like hey, they're downgrading down to a different audience now. Yeah, I mean, we're not. I mean, like it's not like a whole. it's not like we're taking over Monday Night Football anymore. So I could see where they're going with it now, but like I said, but yeah, like I said, right now it's just it's not saying it's hard to watch, but I mean, like I said, I'm still obsessed. So I still check up on my superstars and stuff like that. We got the head of the table. We're still, I mean, I like what they're doing with Roman Reigns and this fam. I mean, yeah, I mean, what they're doing with my AJ Styles, they're killing me. I mean, like that's AJ Styles jumping over to WWE it's been the scariest thing for me ever. What I mean? Like,
you know what? He's like his TNA theme song said, he's gotten ready to fly. He's done impeccably well in the WWE.
It was a scary thing for me when I first heard about it. I'm like, oh man, don't.
Oh, that fucking him and the face off with Roman at Royal Rumble, right? And you're like, oh my god, he's so much shorter. Yeah. They're gonna book him in like, I don't know, the fucking who's a jobber? S.A. Rios. That motherfucker's gonna be S.A. Rios.
I'm just happy they didn't bury my boy AJ Styles. Yeah, man, like especially since I'm from Georgia too. So I'm like we're from the same hood. So I'm like, like it's like once he made his jump. And I mean, like since was it Royal Rumble? It was that Royal Rumble match. I mean, and ever since then they've been doing him right. So I'm super happy there. I'm so happy what they're doing with Mr. Styles. But yeah, like I was scared there for a minute. But then it's Samoa Joe, and then I mean, like
you say Samoa Joe, I might have a Ring of Honor ring.
Really? That's so dope.
Just saying,
dude. I want to get I was thinking about getting a fanny pack because I used to have a WWE title. I used to have a WWE Intercontinental Championship that I used to wear in high school. So yeah, I was thinking about it. So nah, man, still not the original Intercontinental Championship.
Oh, you want to talk about original damn titles, man? What about an AWA title? Held by none other than Vern Gagne and Nick Bockwinkel, who, for my money, Nick Bockwinkel way better than Flair. Way better than Flair. The gimmick, the fucking work rate, way better than Flair.
Oh my god, this guy's out, dude. Oh my god, that's so awesome. That's so awesome, dude. That's so sick.
Like I said, fucking Harley Race shirt. Dude, I'm just saying.
But man, oh my god. Like I said, like you brought this
bro.
You know what? Like I said, dude. I always get caught because I even just in public. I mean, like I said, because our pro wrestling fans are rare now. So all of a sudden, before I run into one, and it's just like, oh shit. I mean, like, oh, we're about to sit for hours. And like we're about to sit down, and especially since I've done it now. I mean, like now, like I've played in the ring now. I've had my 20 minutes. And I'm just like, oh man, like we're about to take, like I said, pro wrestling might take over this conversation for a little bit. I mean, we call it my D&D.
It happens. Man. Fucking, it happens,
my Dungeons
man.
And Dragons, man. My Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
You feel okay? So it looks like you've been so you're a long time fan. So like, what got you in what got you into pro wrestling?
Literally the first. Okay, so I'll take it back. I was born in San Francisco, California, and we at the time of my birth, we lived in this Victorian, apartment building, in the city, like not on the outskirts, like how people are like, oh, I'm from Atlanta, but they're really from Lithonia, right. Right? But, so like we were in the city, and I remember, I think I was about 2 years old, and my dad was a street performer at Fisherman's Wharf in San Francisco. And so Friday, Saturday nights, he would, basically be playing music for, our livelihood. His livelihood, our livelihood. So I was at home with my mom, and I guess I had fallen off to sleep, and she was like, oh, baby's asleep. Let me go to the laundry. And the laundry was just 2 floors down, like in the basement of this place, and we're on like the second floor. So it's like 2 floors down. So I don't know what the fuck happened, but, and this is her telling me the story, but guess the door slammed and whatever, and I woke up. Because she left me. It's the 80s. You can still fucking do these things. Or you can leave your kid. Like, I remember being 10, buying a pack of cigarettes for my mom. Like, right. You can still do that shit. Yeah. So like all of the people in the apartment, they're like, "Hey, baby's crying. Like you should go up there and whatever." And I'm fucking screaming my head off. Like I thought my mom was gone. I don't know what the fuck 2-year-old me was thinking, right? So she's like, "Oh no!" And my mom's Fijian. She's like, "Oh no, Lovenku. Oh no, my child. Like whatever." And then starts. She's like, "Oh, it's Saturday. Let me put on cartoons." But it was Saturday night, like late night, and she was just.
It was and like back in the days, we didn't have like you know what I mean, like as you done, we didn't have those options. Yeah, I
Right.
mean, like you
Hell
see,
yeah,
like
we didn't have those
like
options.
after 8 o'clock, that's when Nick at Night was on. You know, and like like
Yeah.
cartoon cut. You know, what I mean, actually, the public actually worried about kids going to bed.
Yeah.
You know, what I mean?
So basically, what ended up happening was, she's switching the channels and whatever, and then I stopped crying.
Yeah,
And as she tells me, it is Randy Savage versus Bret Hart on Saturday night's main event. I believe it was August of '87.
yeah,
Yeah. So that was it, and that was the first. Like that's how I perceived not just the world. Like after that, I didn't get into anything else. Like
right.
when everybody was in comics and then Pokemon cards or whatever. I liked Shaq, but also Shaq was doing Bash at the Beach in WCW, right?
Right.
So I knew him more from that and like him fucking crashing scoreboards and shit like that. I was like, he'd be a great wrestler. Like I would, yeah. So it was that match.
Now he's in AEW every once in a while. So he's in both sports. He's in my dude. He's representing me and AEW right now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So he's going through tables and things like that. So go ahead.
Yeah, but that's it, And then when
That's what it was.
yeah, when like Julio Cesar Chavez and Tommy the Hitman Hearns and Mike Tyson came out, I was like, oh wait, they fight in the ring like Randy Savage and Bret Hart, and everything I equated. And then I learned about MMA because it was actually Dan Severn first before Ken Shamrock came to the WWF, flanked by like 3 WWF non-WWF titles, 2 UFC titles, 1 NWA, and then flanked by Jim Cornette. And I was just like, and he fucking ragdolled Owen Hart. And to me, I was like, because the Harts are the badasses. Stu wrestles bears. They fucking, all the boys are wrestlers. Like 12 kids, Stu and Helen Hart had. All the boys are wrestlers, all the girls marry wrestlers, and even the wrestlers that the daughters married are my favorite wrestlers, like fucking Jim the Anvil and British Bulldog and, Brian Pillman who came out of there. So it was just like, that was it. So when fucking Dan Severn came out and ragdolled Owen, I was just like, everything that I know is a lie.
Yes.
Because Owen was the best of them.
Dude.
Owen could do all the high flying shit. He could do the lucha shit. He could do the Japanese shit that even Bret couldn't do.
Yeah. And he had personality.
And he had personality, which again Bret didn't do.
Yeah, like Bret was more of the tough guy. Like Owen's one who was able to, like the blue chipper. He was taking risks. Yeah,
I am not a nugget. I kicked your leg out of my leg.
Yeah, he totally.
Yes.
He totally played with. He totally started playing with other gimmicks and things like that. Like I said, Owen was so the colorful one between him and Bret. Yeah, I mean,
he was the best.
But he was so the best. Yeah, Owen was.
He was the best. Like all time. Like if Owen Hart isn't on anyone's top 10 list, and you could say, oh well, he never won a title, whatever the fuck. Like we got robbed. We really got robbed. Obviously his wife and kids suffered the most because they don't have their husband and / father, right? But like I want to say less than a year after he ended up passing away, yeah. Kurt Angle and Taz were going to be here.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Owen and fucking Kurt Angle?
That would have been so, especially back then too. Yeah, I mean, especially with like
Austin getting hurt, Rock, fucking Owen and Rock, dude. I uncovered a fucking IC title match with Owen and Rocky Maivia, and I was just like, oh, that was like my holy grail. That was my Tom McGee. I was just like, I can't believe I
flipped everything upside down too. Yeah, I mean, like, oh my God, but. It is what it is. Yeah, I mean, like, like we're in like such a great time though, where we're in like pro wrestling has such a beautiful time where there's just so much open out there, man. Like there's just, it's no longer, you no longer have to just like, you don't have to dig anymore. You know what I mean? Like they're giving us the catalog. Yeah, I mean to touch pro wrestling all over the world. So I'm super proud of them right now, especially how AEW is doing it right now. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, like I'd like to do, I love it. So
Yeah, I mean it's a good time to be alive. Like again,
and then
MLW is
like
on Vice.
and just in even like on the pro wrestling tip, but just in combat sports, like just in combat sports in general. Yeah, I mean, like that's the reason why I like the rise of bare knuckles. Just like I mean, like it's such a good time right now. Yeah, I mean, like yeah, I mean, like we got the app. Yeah, I mean, so like there's billions of people can just access the app. Well, most of the day, the BKFC app. Yeah, I mean, download that. That's where you can catch our fights. Yeah, I mean, and you have the fight app. You got all these other. Yeah, I mean, you got all these other avenues that are right on your phone. Yeah, I mean, they're like less than freaking pennies. Yeah, I mean, they're like
Yeah.
fucking as much as a cup of coffee or a bag of chips.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, and you just got like a whole access of just like all types of fights and matches and stuff like that. We're in a, you get this time is very spoiled. It's super spoiled.
Yeah. Which I gotta ask.
Yeah.
Do you have a top 10 in terms of MMA fighters that have influenced you?
My top 10. Okay, I'll say 10. If I'll give you as many as top of my head. Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I can't promise you 10. But I'll tell you this right now. My number one is Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva is
Hmm.
my favorite fighter in the fucking world. It was so sad to watch him retire. But now he's in pro boxing now. Yeah, I mean, but I guess he's saying that he's finished with MMA, but we'll see. Such a beautiful run, and he was actually the biggest, one of my biggest influences in the world. Yeah, I mean, just with everything, his humbleness, his style, his winning streak, his championship run, his swagger. Like I said, I really loved Anderson Silva, so he is completely my number one. Number two, Roy Jones Jr. Playing basketball, then coming back across the United States to win a boxing match. I'll always remember that. And plus, he was one of my biggest influences as a younger cat because we used to record his fights on the VHS, and like I'm undergroundly studying him without just enjoying his fights. But I'm studying him because that's Anderson. That's Roy Jones. I mean, that's what we kind of used to do as a family. I mean, we feel like my family and I feel like we cursed Roy Jones because we finally, I think it was like his first fight with Antonio Tarver.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we recorded
Oh
that, and he
man.
was so dehydrated. He still won, but he was so dehydrated, and we were like, "Oh man." Yeah, I mean, like and then after that, he'll go back and fall short. But it was the fight that he pulled it through, but he didn't look too good. So he's number two. Uh, let's see. Let's go into number three. I do love my Diaz brothers. I want them to fight so bad. I mean, just because it's been so long. I remember watching Nate Diaz versus Donald Cerrone for the first time, them flicking each other off. And because I remember at that time, man, like I was, I love Donald Cerrone, and I was on the Cerrone train. But then, you start I've really seen the skillfulness of what a Diaz brother does. I mean, in that fight, and it's just like first it was like I think it was Donald who did the middle finger, and then in the middle of the match, like Nate Diaz is like, "Okay, motherfucker."
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we got him back. He's like, "Okay, motherfucker," and they went back and just had that epic match. Pretty much just outclassed Donald Cerrone, but I mean, Nate and Nick are all they're just themselves. I mean, I'm just waiting for them to come back. Let's see, that's number three. Number four, actually, I got a mix of I got a mix of anything here. I do enjoy some Tony Lopez, a heavyweight that fought.
Yeah.
Tony Lopez,
The
one of my
Kryptonite
favorite
Lopez, man.
dude.
I mean, aside from what Alistair Overeem might be the most decorated heavyweight in all of combat sports.
And
Boxing, MMA, bare knuckles. He's
bare
got
knuckles.
like 30 titles. Like, just crazy.
he's just someone who just generally likes to scrap, man. You know what I mean? And like I so respect that from fighters. You know what I mean? And it's just every time I see ever since even my Keenan Cage days, just every time a Tony Lopez fight, every time there's a Tony Lopez fight, he's there to scrap. Yeah, I mean, he gives it all, gives it his all, and then at the end, I met him backstage. One of the humblest guys I ever met in my life. So I'm happy that he makes it in my top, at least in my top 10. You then let's see I said I'm at number 4. I go into number 5. I'm kind of sad I don't really have like it. This is kind of slow for me, but you know I got to go into Floyd Mayweather. Yeah, I mean, I love Floyd. His style, just beautiful. People don't like defense. Yeah, but I mean, him especially being from Michigan and me, like having so long of a history in Michigan.
Right.
Like I said, Michigan's just got fight. Yeah, I mean, then I also like let's see, Cain Velasquez. Yeah, I mean, you got Cain.
Cardio Kane.
Cardio King. You got Cain. Yeah, I mean, you can never hate on Cain. Even though he's not having such a great run right now, but I still miss him. GSP. Yeah, I mean, George St. Pierre. I remember at that one time where I was so king. I was so Anderson Silva, and it was supposed to be Anderson Silva versus GSP. I was so Anderson Silva, but GSP totally really held his ground as someone who was very skillful, like one of the first well-rounded skillful fighters in MMA. Someone who really knew some grappling, someone knew the importance of a jab, and just someone and knew some Brazilian jiu-jitsu. And then at the same time, though, once he started getting on Rogan, you start finding out that he's just a kid like us. I mean, he's so normal, and he's just generally normal. Was bullied and stuff like that, and he's just very truthful about the game. I mean, because this game can be very hurtful. So, I mean, I said, I respect some GSP. Let's see. Let's go back. I love my Chucks. I mean,
Chuck Liddell, yeah.
Got to have your Chuck Liddells. I mean, that's one of our first. And then going back, this is an old school fighter. I don't know if you ever heard him, but Chad Herrick's from Michigan.
Yeah.
Boy, yeah. Like I said, another Keenan Cage vet. He was actually one of the first pro fighters I ever met because I'm from Michigan. And
wow.
Oh yeah, dude, one of the nicest dudes. Got to train with him a little bit. Heavy-handed son bitch, and I bet you any money, he'll probably come back right now if they called him up.
Wow.
And then number 10, let's see. Fighter wise, let's see. Number 10. I kind of want to go, and like I said, this is not to kiss his ass or anything, but I want to go with Ricardo Lamas.
Okay.
Lamas out of Chicago. Like I said, once again, I met him personally too. Once again, he's just, I mean, just like I said, he's if you meet him, personally one of the best fighters I ever met in my life. Okay, help me get me some cauliflower here. I mean, what a freaking cake to the head. I mean, dude was just a hard working fighter. He was actually at the very first UFC event that I actually got to go to.
Wow.
Split the guy's eye. He split the guy's eye, and the blood hits the camera. And I was just like, oh my God, I really want to train with this dude. And then a year later, I got to train with him. So yeah, that's
on.
Yeah, just terrible elbows, really good calf kicks. He's retired now, unfortunately.
Right, but, the bully.
Yeah, hey man, everything comes to a full circle. He had a fucking great career. So
yeah,
so that's my top 10.
I like it, man. It's fucking great.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, Jake, you've done a lot of things, right? You've done a lot of things in your life and your career, toured the world. Now, one thing that Don McGuire wants to know is, do you have any? I guess I forgot how he phrased it. It was something about what is the best piece of advice. What professor gave you the most priceless knowledge? So, who in your training, who in your travels?
You know what? The funny part is like like advice. Like I don't have really like okay with all my professors and things like that. I don't have like crazy quotes. You know what I mean? Like I can't give you like this crazy quote of things of like okay, hey Hunter Jay, let me tell you something. You know what I mean? I wish I had that, but with all my journey, like just the journey itself, like it's just the journey. It's like my like with me, it's just been my journey itself. And like yes, the people that you meet, yeah, you hear some good stuff, you get a compliment and things like that. But I can't give you off the top of my head like the best advice that I got from, especially in the fight game. Because I feel like at the end of the day, the fight game is so new, especially when I started
Yeah.
we were all making this we were all making our story together. You know what I mean? So it's not like someone was like, oh, this is how you make it, or it wasn't like, oh, this and that. The journey itself pushed me to the journey itself pushed me to find self-reflection and in the other places that you wouldn't think to find self-reflection. So I'm not saying like I didn't get great advice from other professors and things like that. I just know like it's all about how you make it. So you know, every time I went to these schools or I trained at all these places, I just try to be like I said, like you know what I mean. Like I just try to contribute something, even if it's not just a good vibe, or if it's not something I've learned from other places, or if it's not just being a good student in general. Yeah, I mean, it's just like when you go to these places, you have to try to bring, like I said, don't don't necessarily worry about be grateful for what the professors give you, even if it's not the most humbling words or this best advice. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're just participating in class, and then before you know it, you're learning how to shrimp. You know what I mean? Like they probably like because MMA is like MMA. Well, when I started MMA was so new. You know what I mean? Like when I started MMA, dude, it was just going into it was a mat, and you had to get 10 rounds of grappling and 10 rounds of sparring, and and I'm talking about like if you didn't know, you better find out. Yeah, I mean, because people were tapping you out on, you know what I mean, on their backs. You know what I mean, over and over again until you're like, okay, I got to figure out what I'm doing wrong. So I'm not saying like I'm not saying that I don't have like I didn't get good advice from other people from like our other professors and stuff like that, but I guess with some of the things that have been told to me, I guess like I'm trying to, I guess you keep them to yourself and throw them into your own, try to turn them into your own fire to continue your own journey. And then once you start your journey, you'll start knowing what I mean when you start run into these, the advice or whatever you listen to, or the guy that you met, and they'll throw in something, and you just, if you don't like run out and gloat about it or like tell everybody about it, you just use it in your own journey, and you'll see what it makes. You'll see the magic that it makes out of it. So
Yeah.
I don't necessarily have like one of those, oh well, this sensei gave me this, and all of a sudden I started doing this. I was just kind of on the journey, and then guess what? I might have, you know what I mean? Like I might have heard or did something, and then all of a sudden I just took it for what it was. Even if it was a bad thing or a good thing, you know what I mean? Like 'cause sometimes you don't hear the greatest thing. Sometimes you don't get
Right.
that thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That sensei thing. You just have to, you know what I mean? You just let the journey tell you. I mean, you just like look back and you just see your journey, and that's where, you know what I mean, and that's your story. So I don't really have like, so to make my answer a little bit shorter, I'm sorry to go off, is that it's, I mean, I really don't have one to kind of give right now. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm still kind of in the journey. You know what I mean? And I'm still meeting people all over and over again. If I tell you this right now, recently was shaking hands with Leonard Garcia in the elevator, and him saying, "Hey, So I heard good things about you, and I can't wait to see what you do in bare knuckle. That, you know what I mean? And guess what I did after that? I went back to the gym and I started training my ass off. So, just even good stuff like that, you know what I mean? From a legend like Leonard Garcia. I mean, it wasn't like I said, it's not the best. It's not the best thing, but what I'm saying is it's just like as you go on, and if you really want to do something, you'll hear positive words from the universe will give you positive words and give you
Mm-hmm.
positive things to throw into your fire. You know what I mean? And even sometimes when things get stale and you think that, no one's recognizing it or something like that, before you know it, someone will come up to you and be like, "Yo, get your ass up and get the training. You know what I mean? You got shit to do."
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, man, if you ever start your own journey, don't look for them. You know what I mean? They just come to you, bro. Like real talk.
No, 1,000%. And first, 91 from Brazil says, "Hello, guys. Greeting from Brazil."
What's
And
up?
yeah, boah. And something that you'd probably like, Jay, it says, "We have a rock statue with the bionic elbow." That's,
I would love that. Oh my god, man! You talking about in Brazil?
yeah,
Have
that's
you
what they
ever
got in Brazil. Shout out to Brazil, man. Boah.
They're trying to get me there. They're trying to get me to Brazil. Hell yeah.
I mean, there we go, man.
That
But
hurt.
obviously, dude, there have been a lot of people, and not so much just words, but the people that have been put in your life, that have gotten you to where you are in your journey. So take it as long as you need. Let's get some shout outs out of the way.
Oh, gotta give my shout outs. Oh man, I want to thank the Smith brothers. You know what I mean? Kevin Smith, my guys. Those are my guys right now that I'm training with. Lorenzo Hunt, the Wizard, the Juggernaut. I swear to God, like his interest, I'm still jealous about, and I can't believe he put that in public. But oh my God, he jumped up in the air and had that cape. I was like, that's my homie. Uh, you know, rest in peace to one of my best friends passed about a week ago, and he was the owner of Every Victory owned in Shirts, Mugs, and More in Exville, Michigan. Anthony Brown, we love you to death, and just thank you for always giving me the support and believing in myself when I didn't even believe in myself. So he's actually one of my biggest influences in the game, and yeah, I mean, BKFC. We hope you guys see me soon. Like I said, I have some fight announcements soon. Got some good news coming up, so I can't wait. And you guys will probably see me in the ring pretty soon here. So, like I said, I'm just tiptoeing it right now. You know what I mean? But it looks like it's gonna be official. So, you know what I mean? But once I have dates and stuff like that, I'll keep you guys updated.
There it is. So to keep up with everything that Jay Action Jackson is doing, where's the best place to find you, good sir, on social media?
Just find me on Instagram, J Action Jackson, or at the Multiverse. But at Multiverse FC, or just hit my Facebook, J Jackson. You know what I mean? Like that's where I'm at. Those are my socials. So yeah, I mean, I wish I had like Twitter and stuff like that, but I'm not really into that. But Instagram, Facebook, hit me up, man. I totally appreciate it.
There it is.
All
Well,
right.
Jay,
Thank you, Mr. West, for having me, man.
no, dude, thank you. This has been an honor and a privilege. And thank you guys for joining us here at According to Woods. And if you haven't already done so, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to the According to Woods podcast on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I mean, Jay, you're subscribed to the podcast, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Damn
Yes, I
right.
am. You're damn right I am. So yeah, definitely check this out, man. I appreciate you guys having me.
Hell yes. But if you don't believe me or believe Jay, and I don't know why you wouldn't, well, maybe Pro Wrestler Zeta Zan can convince you.
Hey, this is Zeta Zhang. Make sure